our economy?
Well, something. Let me read Psalm 89, 31, 33. It says, if they violate my statutes and do not keep my commandments, then I will punish their transgressions with the rod and their iniquities with strips. But I will not remove my steadfast love or be false to my faithfulness. What does that mean? You see, one of the things that we have stopped doing in this country is punishment. And I keep saying it that, look, the foundation of this country is being eroded gradually because the new generation sees nothing wrong with wrongdoing. You do it, look, I employ a lot. And after a few times, people come to you to help people to get jobs. You know what they tell you? Oh, get us government jobs for that 1 year. Everybody knows that the only place that it doesn't matter what you do, you still keep your job to retirement is government jobs. Appraisals, no. Even if there's an appraisal, it is not based on, okay, the state-owned enterprise and all these companies, it is not based on anything. So you are looking at impresses, as my honorable member said, right? These are things, and you see, by the time we are hearing about it at the Public Accounts Committee, as he said, there has been a management letter that had gone, the exit meeting that was done with the internal auditors, the external auditors with the internal auditors. But the fundamental issue is who is in charge of these internal audits. And my brother said something. H&D holders, how are they paid? Remuneration. Former Director General said that they are the worst remunerated. Look at the numbers we are talking about, Samson. If we are to now say that in most private companies in the organogram, internal auditor report directly to the board, right? You are not part of. So management, your report don't even go to the managing director. It goes directly to the board. The board chairman receives it, and the board now deliberates on. The reason being that there could be infractions which the managing director himself is probably part of. So the internal auditor report directly to the board. The problem, and I'm happy my brother, who is the chairman of the finance committee, is saying these things. You guys have supermajority. Don't use it to hound and tease. Do something with it. Because all the reforms you are talking about, all these 2/3 you guys talking about in parliament that you have, these are the brilliant things that we expect the NDC to propagate and amend the laws and make sure it happens.
Respond to you.
No, don't. There's no point. You are the chairman. You've said all the good things that you think should happen. You have the majority in parliament to do them.
Are working on the constitution.
No, the constitution is one thing. But I'm saying that they are set because you made a very interesting point, which is the parliament is the employer of the auditor.
Yes.
The auditor brings his report, but there is no bite at both ends. There's no bite at Public Accounts Committee. There's no bite at the internal auditor. Mm-hmm. So there need to be a bite. And to amend those laws, you don't need constitution amendment to amend those things.
No, you need that.
Well, you guys are comfortable with
no, for the Auditor General, you need the constitution to be amended.
But can't you amend the act that established the Auditor General?
There's an saying that the Auditor General draws his powers from the Constitution.
So you need to amend those.
You need to amend.
So okay. So hopefully when that happens, but something to a larger point.
Provided you will not also scream that we are going to give a third term to somebody.
Well, I don't even know why that's even a conversation. I mean, something. You're a lawyer, and clearly there is a very stringent. And when people keep coming to me, I say third term. I say what third term? Let's go and do a referendum today. I mean, if you want to spend 2 years of your administration doing a referendum about you wanting a third term, let's go out there and do a referendum. Well, that's fine.
But your people are propagating it, you know.
No, listen, let me tell you something. If that conversation ever comes up, I'm 100% convinced, and I'm probably been assured that the NDC themselves will fund us to oppose it. People who are lacing their boots, the Greek ministers and the chief of staffs and the party chairman who are lacing their boot to fight for the NDC flag bearer, you think they'll allow his excellency? Well, that's fine, but you guys, but your people want it more. Because they know that.
Okay, so you go.
There you go. Let's not transgress.
At the just ended election rerun, Abu Jinako is a lawyer.
Okay.
He was in one of the places campaigning. Did you hear what he said? They are seeking a 2/3 majority in parliament to change the constitution and make John Mahama president a third time.
We all know. We all know that's not how the law
that's
works.
What you guys do.
But that's fine. But we all know it is for the facts of how it will happen, It's clearly defined in the Constitution. We all know what will transpire before that can happen. So let's not.
So talk to your supporters.
Well, that's fine. I mean, that conversation, I don't think
it's a lot of gaslighting. Some of it born out of ignorance. Some of it also deliberate, particularly on social media.
Yeah, I know the bloggers are on it, but like I said, look. Yeah. But the most important thing on this internal audit issue is that we need to have a bite. We need to have punitive actions. We need to have instances where the low-hanging fruit, those that can be gotten back immediately. Like my brother said, you don't even have to come to PAC before the prosecution starts. At the time when they are doing the exit, because, audits are done a year after, right? So by the time the auditor is having the exit committee and the infractions are there, he can actually refer it to the Attorney General for further investigation before Public Accounts Committee. So those are the things we need to, because every year it keeps increasing. Unfortunately, this year, my sector, my beloved ECG, seems to have a branch of the most of them, and they said about 84% of the coming from ECG as a state-owned enterprise. Yeah. So it's really unfortunate, but I think something needs to be done mostly on the punitive actions that happens.
You started on a biblical note, very inspirational, and then you made a very profound statement, which is fact, that the foundations of this country are being eroded, and that people defend wrongdoing. Don't you think you, the political class, are largely responsible for this? And I'm saying this because when the law enforcement, EOCO, police, CID, OSP, they arrest an important figure, politically exposed person. When they catch the small thieves, nobody cries. They arrest them and they charge them. You shout political witch hunt. You mobilize your supporters to go and, mass up at their offices. When a court convicts them, you single out the judge. You bastardize them. Do you think we can correct this erosion if this continues, where people don't even know the person from anywhere, but because he belongs to NDC or MPP, they do no wrong. Once they get accused, they are defending them like nobody's business.
I know. And Samson, let me say this. A good sword should cut both ways, right? I have always said, and it's profound you said that. I think last week there was a day that I was in a meeting where I was discussing with some communicators that why do you go and defend someone, quote unquote, alleged to have done something? Why is the party defending that person? Because I think the party communication, I've been on TV and said this, and I've been bashed for it. I've always said that party communication has no business defending political infringements. Sorry, government infringement, not political. Okay. The party communicators have no business defending government infringement. So if somebody in the government have done something, let the person go through the process and be acquitted. But the problem where I said a good sword should cut both ways is that the process these people are taking them through, like you just use our brother Wuntumi's instance, the kind of bail that was set for him. And you're a lawyer. I'm sure we all found problems with the bail conditions that were set. He is only an inquiry. An inquiry bail should not be that stringent. So the political inference which goes into those things also becomes a problem. Because if you think, and almost at times, this is what happens. Political appointees who are given to these YOCO and all these, they just want the front pages of the arrest, not the prosecution. Because if you really want the prosecution, the arrest is really because you arrest me today, within 48 hours, you have to arrange me. You put me on the hard floor. I will lie there quietly, eat some gari or whatever. 48 hours, I've not killed, I've not done drugs. I'm on bail. But then you now come and put certain bail conditions that makes it very difficult to meet. Okay. That is where the political witch hunt comes in, because it is not that you are giving me a fair trial, but you are putting impediments in my way for a fair trial.
We need more of your kind in the communication front.